So now I'm going to start working on the lawn, and I'm going to start by putting a wash down of lighter yellowish green for these lighter passages. It'll be kind of just a base layer. And now that the lawn has dried just a little bit, it's still wet. I'm going to put down some darker strokes to show the shadows that are on the lawn, and I'm going to primarily use the Perylene green, which is the much cooler green in my palette. And it's helpful to do this while it's still a little wet, so that I can at least have some diffusion, and these edges won't be as harsh, they won't dry as harsh. So I'm just gonna let some bright areas of the grass remain bright. And you can see it actually dried a good amount, so my edges are not as diffused as I would like, but it's something I can work at, no problem. And you can deal with that by just taking a semi-moist brush and going along the edges here so that it gives it a chance to blend in a little bit. So I'm actually just lifting out some of the harder edged places. I'm using a large round brush because it helps me to get larger areas. And I don't want it to be like pinpoint accurate anyway. And I'm making sure that these dark lines of shadow are actually going diagonally, as it shows a little bit of movement and gives a little bit more interest rather than just flat, straight lines going across. It also gives a sense of the slope of the lawn. Just gonna go down like that. And you can actually hint at the shape of the lawn using your brush strokes. And it's okay to have some harder edged strokes in here, because it's not all the same. It's not all the same values or the same intensity throughout, because the grass kind of undulates, it goes up and down because of the surface, the ground is not completely flat. So yeah, just putting some additional touches here. I see some bushes here that I want to make pretty dark, and I'm leaving some of that yellowish green to outline it at the top, and smoothing out the edges here again, because we don't want the eye to be drawn to it too much.